Hey, how you doing? It's Trader Joe's. I'm doing a video today on high-end knives. I haven't done a video in a month or so, so I figured I would start off because just today I got another new knife. I got this today from some guy on a Jersey Devil forum. This is a classic Sebenza. I had seen on a number of videos people talking about which is better, the Umnumzaan or the Sebenza, and I've been carrying the Sebenza for about a month now. I mean the Umnumzaan for about a month now, and I really like it. In fact, I've started using it exclusively during the time that my Hinderer was sent back to Rick Hinderer to have it resharpened and everything and cleaned up. So during that time, I was making use of the Umnumzaan. It's very, very nice. It has nice qualities to it. The way that it opens, it's very smooth. Very good quality, obviously. It's right up there with some of the best knives you could buy. I got this used. Actually, all of these high-end knives I've purchased used from various forums. Actually, I think I got them all on the Jersey Devil forums. Now, I wanted to try this because I haven't had any problems with the Umnumzaan. I just wanted to see if it feels better in the hand. And if the comfort level is the same under the two. I know this is an expensive experiment to go out and buy a knife like this, let alone 2 or 3. These are beyond the average person's budget, and it's kind of beyond my budget. But what I've been doing is I have other knives that I've been selling, and to try to fund some of these purchases. Now, some of the intention is that they say that these types of knives are the kind of knives that can become heirlooms, and you can pass these on to your children and their children, and on and on and on. And I could certainly see that the build quality of these. It seems like it's something that's no longer made in this kind of day and age. Where the attention to detail and the form and function, the fit and finish, a lot of things are just, although things are getting better, for like in third world, like Chinese kind of types of knives, things like that, they're getting really surprisingly good quality fit and finish. And I don't know about the materials, the construction, in terms of their longevity, but Chris Reve and Rick Hinderer, both tool and die makers, I think by trade, initially. So they both know a thing or two about constructing things. Their quality of their machining is exceptional. I mean, if your car was made as good as these, it would be like an indestructible car. You know what I mean? It's just really, really amazingly put together. The way that all the parts mesh and fit, their angularity and the tolerances and things like that, the same words, key buzzwords you've been hearing in every other video about these kinds of knives. Overall, they're about the same size. This is the most expensive knife I've ever purchased. This Hinderer. Is it any better than these? I would say that its build quality is on par with the Chris Reve Sebenzas. There's certain aspects of this that I like. I really like the way that the handle fits the hand. It's got more ergonomics in terms of the angles. It's got like finger reliefs. I love the design of the blade. The the swedge and all that, you know, the shape of the blade, the sponto tip, you know, it's very unique, you know, the traction on the jimping and the various places on it. It seems to combine a lot of the features I've liked in other knives, like Striders and stuff like that. I've never actually owned a Strider, although I am expecting a 0551 to come probably within a couple of days, and I'll compare that as well. But that's also made. That's a collaboration between Rick Hinderer and Strider. So that should be an interesting thing. This way, I figure I got the best of both worlds, and it's only it's only $200 or so. Although this was like around $600, so this is fucking nuts, you know. These, well, you know, this one was like around $350. I mean, if it's half the price of this, get this. You know, I mean, they're both incredibly well made. You know, I mean, spending $600 on a knife is just, you know, to me, it's like I'm realizing that I was going a little crazy buying this shit. You know, now, if you're gonna pick one of these over the other, you know, let's say you took this one out of the equation because it's too insane, it's too difficult to get. These are a lot easier to get. You know, there's no problem going to a lot of sites that have either of these knives available. And I would take a chance, like on these knife message boards, so whether they're Jersey Devil or knife forums, things like that, or even I've seen on Candle Power forums, they have a knife section. You know, there's a couple of other knife EDC forums, things like that. You could definitely find these things. And these two are much easier to get your hand on than this. This was a pain in the ass to get, and that explains why it's so much money. You know, if I could do it, you know, for the price of this one, I could get 4 of these. You know what I mean? So it's well, not wrong. I could 4 of them, but I could certainly get, you know, another couple here. You know, at least one more, and it would be the cost of one of these. So I would get either one of these. I mean, there's no, I have no reason why this is perfectly fine for me. You know, the only thing I don't necessarily like about either of these is that they're hollow ground. I wish that they were either like this, but I find that this hollow grind, even though it's got a convex bevel on the hollow grind, which is very unique. You know, it's just the way that it's hollow, and then at the apex of the edge, it's convex, which is kind of cool. So the combination of those two angles, you know, that type of cut and grind, you'll produce. If you're cutting something, you'll cut a very straight line into whatever you're cutting with these. This, I found, because of its shape, if you're cutting into something, you could end up going off in a deviation because of the width of the blade. So as far as if you're looking for a lean slicer and virtually indestructible, I would go along the Sebenza and Umnumzaan or Chris Reve type knives. I know there's a few others that are along the, you know, the Strider. I've never, you know, like I said, I've never actually handled the Strider, and I'm still waiting on that other 0551 to come out, you know, to come to my house, and then I'll be able to give an opinion on that. But the grind on these is excellent for slicing, cutting. You know, I've put this one through more. You know, this one only came. I actually got this one this morning. This one I've had for a month or so, about a month, and you know, I've been cutting cardboard. I've been cutting paper, fruit, you know, vegetables, things like that. It's fine. You know, I mean, you could basically almost sterilize it. It's just like, you know, the way it's flow through design, the ergonomics, very, very nice. You know, one of the things I like about this over this is that it has 2 thumb studs. I know that some of the Sebenzas you can get a second thumb stud on both sides, I don't know. Let's see how it would work. This has an opening on this side. This is the classic, by the way. Oh, if anyone knows, what does the MM stand for? Is that like a Roman numeral MM? Let me know. I guess if there was another thumb stud on this side, you know, because it has the one that I have has one thumb stud, right hand. I'm right-handed, so it's no problem. But you know, I'm anticipating at some point there might be an occasion where I might need to try to open it up left-handed, and it's going to be a pain in the ass. But I guess I could always, you know, I could find a way to do it. You know, I could do it like that if I had to. You know what I mean? If I was in a situation where I didn't have my main hand, you know, available. But how often is that going to happen? You know, you try to be realistic about certain things that you think about, you know, in terms of what could happen to you, and do you really need this kind of stuff, and things like that, you know. Try to be realistic before you start dropping a lot of money on these things, you know. But as far as collectability, though, goes, definitely, you know, I think every knife guy should have a Sebenza, now that I've had this for a few hours. You know, I mean, or at least this, you know, the Umnumzaan. I think you'd be very happy with either of these. So I guess I would throw my nod more towards practicality in terms of getting a very good quality, excellent quality, production, semi-custom knife. I would go with Chris Reve over trying to go through the difficulty of getting the XM-18 or any of the other Hinderers, because they're so difficult to get, and you know, you start going nuts because of the difficulty, and you're like, you know what, if you see something, you'll just jump on it because it's like you figure you're never going to get this opportunity again, and that's what I did when I got this, and I just, you know, not that I regret it, you know, I mean, I'm really glad that I have it. I love it, you know, it's a wonderful frickin' knife, you know, it's just, you know. But I'm almost reluctant to want to carry it now that I've been carrying these. So take that for what it's worth as well, you know. But if you can get a hold of something like this at a decent price, you know, I would say around 600 or less, get one of these and just put it away somewhere. Because I don't know if, you know, unless they suddenly stop making them. I mean, this is you know, kind of like a specialized model here, because it's the second generation. I think the other ones are like the third generations are more common. And not all of them have the flipper. I know a lot of people don't like the flipper for some reason, but to me that's like awesome. You know, I love the idea, and I love the way that it kind of hangs down like that. You know, it just kind of protects your hand if you're cutting into something and you somehow screwed up and you ended up, you have a little bit more protection than if there was nothing there. You know, I just like it. You know, it looks aggressive as well, and you know, just a beautiful knife. You know, but these are just as beautiful in a different way. You know, these are like an engineer. If you were an engineer, you would be into these, you know, because they have the straight lines, they have textures and, you know, geometry in them that's just like different than this. This is like curves, you know. Engineers don't like curves more, you know, they like straight stuff, you know. So, all right, that's my take on certain things here. So, this is Trader Joe's, and have a good day and enjoy your week. I'm going to also start doing some other videos about things that I like, you know, like not necessarily knives. Like I'm going to be planning to do another video after this one for shoes or something like that, or clothing and things like that. Whatever I find that I see that I really like, and I think that other people may be interested in it as well, I'm going to try to do videos on things like that as well, because I mean my knife budget's kind of getting near the end of what I have available to me. And you know, there's a lot of other things out there, you know, that I'm interested in doing, but you know, knives are always something that's going to be something I'm interested in. And once the warm weather comes, you know, I'm in New York, so the bushcraft knives that I have. In fact, actually I should talk about this for a second, just real quick. I got this from Knives Fish Wild. He was kind enough to offer it up on sale, and I jumped on it because I like the idea of it. This is a Fallkniven F1, and he had sharpened it. It's beautifully sharpened. It's very clean, perfect. You know, I like that that grind on there, and the lamination line you can see on there. I don't know if you can see it. Let's see if this comes up. Let's see, there's a lamination line on there. It's near the edge over here. And you know, he had used sandpaper and taken down the checkering that would ordinarily be on the handle of this. You know, it feels really, really nice and smooth in the hand, but also grippy at the same time. Now, I'm sure you NASCAR guys know, you know, if you look at a, they call it racing slick on a race car, there's no tread on them, right? It's just smooth rubber, but the texture of that rubber is very similar to how this looks now. It's got like it's almost like a very fine suede feeling, and all those that little texturing is what grabs into your fingerprints, you know, the ridges and grooves in your fingers, and enables you to hold on to something. When you have checkering and things like that, you know, with pronounced checkering, it actually, you don't get as much traction as you could on something that was like a suede feel, right? If I'm dragging my finger along here and I rub back and forth actually kind of hard, I can feel the heat building up, right? And that's, heat is friction. Friction is, you know, enabling you to have grip. This, I don't feel heat building up. I feel the texture, but I also feel, you know, sensations and nerves firing. So, you know, and that was part of the reason why I wanted the Micarta handle, the Micarta inlays on this Sebenza, because there is a microscopic suede texture to that as well. And this type of a texture is, you know, much more, but it's actually because of the way he did it, the way Chris Reeve's knives does that type of embossing or whatever, you know, machining on there. It provides you a grip, and it's slender enough that you're not going to lose your grip on this. You know, it's right in the right spots for your fingertips to grab onto. If something were to try to pull this out of your hand, you know, it would be really, really difficult. And you know, what are they going to grab onto? The fucking blade, you know. So, so this is the Fallkniven F1 that I got from Ben, Knives Fish Wild. All right, he's a very nice guy. I like his videos. He's a really interesting and funny guy. All right, so this is Trader Joe's, and have a good day. Again, take it easy. Bye-bye. How do I turn this damn camera off? Pain in the ass. Hope I've been recording. That's 10 minutes, 51 seconds. All right, Trader Joe's. Have a good day.